Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, getting ready to get my day going, get my squats and everything, and I feel pretty good today. You guys who were watching my Bulgarian training last week saw Saturday I kind of hit a wall. I only did half my workout. I did my squats, my bench, failed to chin up, and I didn't do workout B. So that was kind of the end of my training week because Sunday's usually a lighter day, active recovery. I've quit doing maxes 7 days a week. I do them 6, and then I play around a little bit on Sunday, and it's just my fun day. I don't even squat 400 pounds usually on my fun day. I just get under, do a little bit of pause squatting, some snatches, a little bit of barbell complex. It's just some stuff to move around and stay active. Try to take some nice long walks on that day for a little bit of lifts, active recovery, take the dog for extra walks. That's what I do. But I'm feeling pretty good this week. I feel like I'm going to come in and PR my squat again. But it kind of brings me to the point. Someone had said, hey, you haven't progressed on this. I've been watching and I don't see any progress. And so let's talk about that a bit. Because this is one of the best things I've been able to do in a while is for me to go ahead and build a home gym. And actually I've got more stuff on the way. More calibrated plates and a better stand to put some of my weights on the side. Make a little better use of my space in the bedroom there. But yeah, I wanted more calibrated plates so that things like all of my upper body lifts at least, no one's going to scream about fake weights. If I have at least 315 in calibrated plates instead of my training plates, we can put it into some of that nonsense. So that being said, how far have I come while doing this in the 6 weeks I've been filming? People need to remember I have been doing this 6 or 7 weeks off camera, doing it actually at 24-hour fitness before I started filming. So because we don't have documentation, the progress I made during that time doesn't matter. Because last time people watched, I was doing rep work with 355 on the squat because I had taken 2 years off from squatting. Last time people saw me overhead pressing, I was doing triples with 175, right, over time. And then they see like 5 months. People say, hey man, you've gotten bigger in that 5 months. But a lot of that I've been doing concurrent training, and then I switched over to the Bulgarian, and I feel like I've got bigger since then. So since we started training back on April the 16th, what did my numbers look like on the lifts I'm doing compared to 6 weeks later? Well, if you guys recall, I was doing my daily squat with 435, right? Last week, they were done with 475. 475. That's a 40-pound increase on my daily squat. Actually, it's a 70 since I started the Bulgarian because I started with 405. I waited till I could squat 405 again before I rotated into this type of training, and I think that's reasonable. I would say guys who are squatting in the 300s, you're probably not ready to mess with this sort of training yet. But 405 is a good baseline to get into some seriously heavy training. So yeah, I started with 405, but again, doesn't matter. We're going to look at what we can document. So a 40-pound increase in 6 weeks on my daily squat. Chin-ups, really good one because the chin-up was something I really wanted to work on, and I actually was surprised. I had some other people say, man, you're actually really strong on your chin-ups when you factor in your body weight. You're getting really good on those. I'm like, wow, well, thank you, because I've considered them to be like my worst upper body lift for a while. I know there's something I really need to work on, just like the overhead press was something I really needed to work on to improve my overall strength and be more well-rounded as a lifter, and I made progress on that too tremendously. But the chin-ups, now body weight, that comes into play also. People are like, well, if you're losing weight, that doesn't matter if the chin-up's going up. Well, yeah, if the chin-up's going up faster than the weight loss, it does matter. I weighed 251 when I bought my scale here that I started weighing in at home with, 251. I was doing chin-ups with 55 pounds. And I was only doing them a couple days a week at that point. I was only able to do them a couple days a week due to connective tissue pain and everything else. Now, as of last week, what am I doing? Twice a day, I'm doing a chin-up. I'm doing a chin-up with 90 pounds from a dead hang, twice a day. So I'm doing it at a higher frequency, but I have 35 more pounds on there. I've lost 14 pounds. I'm 237 last week. So 35-pound increase minus 14 pounds body weight is 21 pounds. So we've gone up 21 pounds on the chin-up, and I'm doing it more often. Right? It's not just a max. So that 55 was all like a chin at the time. Now by doing the high frequency weighted chin-ups, doing them on a very high frequency, I'm specializing a little bit in that because I'm not deadlifting at the moment. I'm taking my second pulling slot there with more chin-ups. So I'm going to specialize in that lift a little bit because I think it's an important lift. So 21-pound increase at a higher frequency. So I'm doing it up to twice a day now. So my daily training number, that's what I work with. 21 pounds, that's pretty substantial. Especially considering with 14 pounds of weight loss, I probably haven't gained much muscle during that. So the chin-ups have gone up 21 pounds on the total weight. Bench press. I was doing like 305 as a daily minimum 6 weeks ago. Now I do 315 on the closed grip pause bench every day. I did go to 320 for a short bit, adjusting my grip and footing. It started to get too heavy to do every day, and I realized I needed to bring it down a notch. But we're looking at a 10-pound increase, and I was only benching every other day. If you guys recall, when I started, I was benching 3 times a week. Now I do 315, 10 pounds heavier, closed grip pause, 6 days a week. So we're seeing a 10-pound jump on the bench while losing body weight, way less. Standing press. I could PR 225, right? That was a grinder. And it's funny because I saw some stuff in the comments, some of the trolls and stuff were saying, well, he grinds 225 as a max. Yeah, 6 weeks ago. And 210 was my normal training number. I could do 210 3 times a week successfully, all the time. That was totally doable. Now, I'm doing the press about 5 days a week. Okay, it seems like I hit a day every week to where I just don't have the energy to do it. So I think for the past 2 weeks, I've done the press 5 times a week with 225, and some of them were not grinders at all. They're just smooth and fast. So again, we'll still call the 210 a daily minimum because I was doing it several times a week. Even though I'm at a higher frequency, we've seen a 15-pound increase. 15 pounds on the strict press training numbers every day. All in all, I'd say that's pretty good. I mean, I'm really happy with this last 6 weeks. I've made great progress. Do I think in the next 6 weeks my progress is going to be as good? No. Those big jumps on the squat, I'm going to have to reel that in. I strongly suspect this is going to be the last week I can add 5 pounds. After that, I'm going to go to micro loading. Because I'm losing weight, my bench is going to stagnate for a while. And that's okay. The point that comes up with that is people will say, well, shouldn't it be getting better? Well, no. If you're losing weight and your bench is staying the same, you're technically getting stronger on the bench press because you're losing leverage advantages by losing body fat. So if you can maintain your strength on the bench press while losing something like 20 pounds, technically your bench has gotten stronger. And when you go back to maintenance calories again or any sort of caloric surplus, your bench is probably going to start going up. So the point is it'll be fine if it stagnates. I feel like the overhead press I can probably put, in the next 6 week block. I'm hoping to put about, maybe, if I get lucky, 5 pounds. 5 pounds on the daily number, which would be fantastic. It'll be fantastic going into the next DEXA scan. So that's the other interesting component I'm throwing into this. I really want to be transparent in this experiment, and I want to collect a lot of data. That's why I'm documenting it, because there aren't really other guys that I know of in their 40s doing this style of training. They're probably out there. I don't see many of them putting information out. And some of the guys I've known of who are older who do doing it, they're still blasting a lot of gear, and I'm not. My hormone levels, my testosterone levels are staying in the normal range due to TRT, and people need to understand that. People kind of act like it's a badge of honor to not be using TRT, and they think it gives an enormous advantage when you're older. It gives a small advantage, but the point is you're getting your levels back to the normal range. And it's something that I hope these kids understand. A lot of them don't grasp. These 18-year-olds need to understand that at 18, if you're healthy and have a normal testosterone production, you have training advantages over a guy in their 40s on TRT. He does not have an advantage over you. His testosterone levels are the same as yours, but you have 18-year-old connective tissue and magical 18-year-old recovery abilities, right? You should be able to make faster progress than a guy in his 40s on TRT. If you can't beat him, you're doing something wrong. There's something wrong with your training and your diet. But that's going to be the fun point for me, is going to be documenting it. I'm going to go ahead and put my money where my mouth is. I believe in this training system enough that I want to collect solid data. I want to collect data to have it. I'm going to put it out there. That's why I put up all the screenshots, 7 pages of my last DEXA scan. I'm going to do one probably every 90 days for a while so that we can actually see what changes in body composition happen. What's going to be more interesting is that we'll also be able to see, since it breaks muscles down into different parts of the body, we'll see, for example, on me, if every 30 pounds of squat gain, right, on the daily training number, we're going to be able to look at the DEXA scan on the legs and see how much muscle mass change there was. In other words, do I gain a quarter of a pound of muscle in my legs as a result of a 30-pound increase on the squat? Things like that. It's going to give us some really interesting data. You know, the same thing, we can look and see what's going on with arm muscle gains or losses as the chin up and bench and overhead press go up. And hopefully, with a little luck, we'll be able to look and see how directly, and as far as these ratios go, do heavy, high intensity, high frequency training, how much muscle mass change is going to be associated with a given amount of strength. That'll be really interesting to document. So I'm going to be able to collect a lot of data with this by documenting all this, and it's fun for me. You know, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And now at this point, I have over $5,000 invested in a home gym between all the new calibrated plates and everything. I've got over $5,000 invested just to document this stuff, train at home, have good equipment to train on. Going to do the DEXA scans. I don't mind dropping, $90, $95 on a DEXA scan every 90 days. Again, just so that we've got good documentation of what's going on and so that I can track what's going on for my own personal benefit. So that's kind of the plan with what I'm doing with it. But so far, this last 6 weeks, again, pretty good considering I weigh less. I've lost weight. I can only imagine this is going to be fantastic at maintenance later. But lost weight, daily squats up 40 pounds. Daily chin up is up 21 pounds. Standing press up 15 pounds. Closed grip bench press up 10 pounds. We're going to see what happens eventually when I start rotating deadlifts. And that's going to be the next fun thing. I probably won't be doing that till after the next DEXA scan. And we'll see how that affects the numbers between two DEXA scans. And that'll be interesting also. So stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.